Well, hi everybody, and welcome back to Story Time with Nana Mouse. I apologize for my absence the last couple of weeks, and I hope you really haven't missed me too much. I know I've missed you, but sometimes things get in our way, and one thing I've been trying to do is figure out a better time for this. But until I do, I'm just going to be recording these, and then that way Mommy and Daddy can play them for you whenever it's convenient for them. Okay? So, when we last saw Toby and Doby, they were off to bed, and so was Susie. She had just got done having a bath and telling her aunt all about them and her plans for tomorrow to bring them lunch again. And Toby and Doby were still struggling with how they were going to tell their mommy and daddy that Susie was a human, because humans are very dangerous to mice, and they knew that Mommy and Daddy Mouse wouldn't want them playing with them because they'd be afraid that she would try to poison them. So let's see what happens now. Morning came, and Toby and Doby leapt out of bed, anxious to get out into the big room and see their new friend, Susie, once more. They scurried down the hall and into the kitchen where their mommy was preparing breakfast. "Good morning, boys," their mother greeted them as they charged into the kitchen and climbed up onto their chairs. "Good morning, Mommy," Toby replied. "Morning," echoed Doby. "Well, you boys seem a lot better this morning than you were last night," Mother Mouse said. "Did you sleep well?" "Like a baby," Toby exclaimed. "Yep, like babies," Doby chimed in. "Good," Mother Mouse said. "Are you boys hungry?" "I guess so. Look at them enjoying that breakfast with Mother and Father Mouse." "You bet," Toby answered. "Starving," Doby exclaimed. "What's for breakfast, Mommy?" "Your favorite, Doby. Cheese," Mother Mouse said as she brought them each over a plate with a hunk of cheese and put it on the table before them. "Oh boy, I love cheese," Doby smiled, picking up his cheese and taking a big bite. Mmm. Just then Father Mouse walked in. "Good morning, dear," Mother Mouse greeted and gave him a sweet kiss on his cheek. "Good morning, Mother," Father Mouse said. Then, sitting in his chair, he watched as his sons devoured the cheese their mother had given them. "Morning, boys," Father Mouse said to them. "Morning, Daddy," Toby and Doby replied as soon as their little mouths were empty. "I had a very interesting meeting last night, Mother," Father Mouse began, not once taking his eyes off of his sons. "That's nice, dear," Mother Mouse said, looking up at him from her food. "What was it that made it so interesting?" "Well, I learned that there isn't a little girl mouse named Susie living in the big room," Father said, staring at his sons and awaiting their response. Doby, so involved in his cheese, upon hearing his father's comment, swallowed and said, "Susie's not a little girl mouse, Daddy. She's a little girl." Realizing what he had said, Doby choked and looked up at his father. Toby gasped as his little brother spoke, reaching for him, but it was too late. The cat, so to speak, was out of the bag, and he just knew that this meant trouble. Their father glared at them, angry that they had spoken to a human, angry that they had lied. Mother Mouse leaned back in her chair, shocked. "A human? My boys have talked with a human? I cannot believe it. Oh, Father, they are getting closer. Whatever are we going to do? Do you boys know how lucky you are to be alive? That human could have poisoned you," Mother Mouse rambled on. "She's just a little girl," Toby jumped in, defending Susie. "A little kid, like Doby and me. She's nice. She wants to be our friend. She wouldn't hurt us." "Yeah," Doby joined in the defense. "She gave us lunch and everything." "Lunch!" shrieked Mother Mouse. "Did you hear that, Father? She gave them lunch." After a slight pause, Mother, confused and frightened, went on. "What is lunch?" I don't know and I don't care, Father remarked. You boys are grounded. No more big room. Ever, Father concluded as he got up and went out the door to work. He was upset. He had never had to punish his sons before, and it hurt him terribly. Daddy, no! Toby and Doby cried out, chasing after him. Daddy, please! But it was too late. He was gone. They would have to wait until he got home that night to talk to him. They sat on the floor and cried. Mother Mouse watched them, tears in her own eyes. She had never seen Father Mouse so upset. She had never seen her sons so upset. She was lost. She had no idea what to do. This human called Susie could have hurt her boys terribly. They had no idea how lucky they were. They had to be punished. They were not hurt. Why hadn't the little human hurt them? Was it true? Did she only want to be their friend? This is crazy, Mother Mouse said out loud, returning to the kitchen to clean up the mess from breakfast. Toby, I'm sorry, Doby cried. I have a big mouth, and now we can't see Susie any more, or get lunch either. Toby looked at his little brother. He wanted so much to be mad at him, but Doby looked so sad. Tears ran down his face, and his little lips trembled. Toby put his arm about Doby's shoulders. It's okay, Doby. I'll think of something. I know you didn't mean to have a big mouth. With that, the two brothers got up and went to their room. Climbing atop of Toby's bed, the brothers put their heads together and began to think. They had all day to figure out a way to show their mommy and daddy that Susie was okay. What they did not know was how fast all day would go by. As Toby and Doby were thinking, Susie had come down into the basement and was calling out to them. She called and called and called, but they did not answer. Sitting on the floor by their hole, she bent over and pushed her face up against it to peek inside. But it was too dark inside the hole. Toby, she whispered into the hole. Doby! But still there was no answer. She curled up into a little ball, leaned back against the wall, and waited. Perhaps they were still sleeping, she thought. A short time later, Susie's mommy called down to her to come upstairs and get ready for lunch. One more time before she left, Susie leaned over and called for her friends. Not getting an answer, she shrugged her shoulders. I wonder where they could be. Susie went up for lunch, saddened that she had been unable to see her new friends, and hoping that they were all right. She would come down again after her nap. They should be home by then. She would bring them lunch, and if they were not home, she would leave it for them anyway. Then they could have it when they got back. After all, she promised to bring them lunch every day, and a promise is a promise.